Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's episode of GSD Daily. This is episode number 117. We're going to talk about maximizing conversions through a landing page or a sales page or basically a page. If there is a page on your website that you don't think is getting the results and getting the conversions that it should, this is how you fix it. Now, landing pages are most often the choke point in a sales funnel, at least early on. So basically, a lead comes through, a click comes through, they hit a page, they either move on or they don't. From there, they end up walking through, the rest of the sales funnel. But if they don't hit that first page and they don't convert on that first page, then they're gone. So you can get back in front of them from retargeting. There's lots of ways to get back in front of them, but you miss the opportunity if they didn't convert the first time through. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you two different landing page styles, and then I'm going to show you how I'm testing them. One of them is what is called like a multivariate test or a split test, and it is where we're testing different headlines against each other. The other one is different pages. So we're testing page 1, page 2, and page 3 against each other. And then we're able to look at the stats, look at the numbers and say, this is which one is winning and this is which one is not. So let me go through and go. So here, if you are looking at my screen here, make it a little bigger. So the two pages that we're testing, we have this automated webinar playbook and this one. So we talked a little bit about this one yesterday. We talked about the ads for this one. The ads, we went through and disabled the ads that weren't working so that we dropped the lead cost on that. So that was kind of like the first step is how do we optimize the traffic that is coming through? Now, today we're optimizing the landing page. So this test was already ongoing when we disabled yesterday's ads. So here we go. Now we have supercharge your marketing with the unabridged automated webinar playbook. Now, if we look at, we're using a piece of software called Visual Website Optimizer for this. So there's a couple different pieces of software that we can use. VWO.com is one. So it's A/B testing. It's always been my favorite. There's a lot of different kinds. VWO just has been the one that I've been using forever. In fact, for a while we didn't use it. I was trying out some different split testing software. And then I re-signed up for VWO and it literally felt like coming home, after being gone for a decade. Like it just felt like this is where I needed to be, because I used to, we were testing different stuff, but we were using like Google's version. We were using a different one, which is Inspectlet is another one. So it had some nice, simple split testing functionality. It also records screens, so there's some different versions. Inspectlet is nice if you just want to play around with split testing, but you're getting good and used to it, Inspectlet is nice, but VWO is my favorite. So VWO.
How sure are you that you're
is what we're playing with right now. So if we look at our playbook here, you see that we can throw up the report here. And we basically have 4 different versions testing. So we have our variations, and then we have control, variation 1, variation 2, variation 3. You can see that we deactivated variation 2 and variation 3 in this test already. And we were testing with our control and our variation 1. So here's what that means. If we pull up a preview of this, so we're going to pull up a preview of the page. So this is the control. The control is supercharge your marketing with the unabridged automated webinar playbook. That is the control. And right now, if we look at the report, you'll see that it is converting at 34.93% to a lead. From an add to cart standpoint, it is converting at 2.2%. And then it's got, from an engagement standpoint, it is at 51% engagement. So your engagement means that the people who hit a page, then they interacted with that page in some way. They scrolled down it, they clicked it, they moved, you know what I mean? Like they somehow triggered an engagement. They didn't just show up and then bounce away. They showed up and did something. And that doing something could have been the button click that then went, or the button click which loaded the opt-in form. So that's the engagement. We always test. I always use engagement as a backup metric so that I know which pages are getting the best engagement, and then we can design to that. So, so this variation has a 51%, or I'm sorry, from a lead standpoint, it has a 34% conversion. Then we have variation 1, which is a 29.96 variation, so just under 30%. And let's see what that one looks like. So this is, we just hit this little button on the lower right-hand corner. It's a little selector. Variation 1, it reloads, and then that variation is print money on autopilot with the complete automated webinar playbook. Interestingly, this version is 5% less in terms of conversion. You would think that it would be higher, but it is not. So that's how we end up split testing. Now, we always start with the headline. So the headline, the easiest way to squeak out extra conversions on a landing page is the headline. It's bar none the easiest way. It's the thing that we focus on as soon as we load a page. We read that headline. And in our head, we figure out whether it is worthwhile and useful for us or not. So we read the headline. If we agree, we read down the next line, and then we read the rest of the page. So headline is always the first thing we test. Always the first thing we test. Next, we test image. So you're going to see that in this next example that I'm going to show you. After that, we test the button color. And then button colors, usually oranges or greens, work pretty well. Then we test subheadlines, and then we test the rest of this stuff, the features and benefits. But generally, headline, then image, then button color, then subheadline, then the rest, the exclusive, the features and benefits of the page. So this is the first test with this page. So it's the first time we're actually optimizing this page. If we aren't getting a conversion that we like, then we start testing different page styles. So sometimes that happens. Sometimes for whatever reason, a page style doesn't work despite the copy being dialed in, and that's why we test engagement. Then you test different page styles, you nail one that works, and then you restart your test. You start headlines, then images, then button color, then subheadlines, and then features and benefits. So that's the split testing matrix that we end up employing. So next example is this page. So we can remove these guys. This is the next, not that one. This is the next example. So this is an automated webinar, automated profits webinar registration. So it's an automated webinar that we have. This general layout is working really, really well right now. Very, very simple. Part of the reason it's working really well is because it's really great on mobile. So mobile, you end up, Facebook's going to send mobile traffic if they can. So it works really great from a mobile standpoint. So learn my simple 2x2 sales funnel framework that helps you cash in on products and services. Let's look at the split test data. So this is the automated webinar landing page. And if we go to report, you'll see that we have, so our control didn't work all that well. So we had our expected conversion rate was 36%. We just had 2 out of 6 who converted on that thing. So it was deactivated pretty soon. Then we have a 21% conversion here and a 17% conversion here. Now, if we go to engagement, we'll notice that the engagement is 50% on that variation 1. And variation 2 is 37%. Now, to actually give it a little bit of meaning, let me go here. So we're going to go through and preview the variation. And you'll see that I think this variation.
How sure are you?
Okay, so that variation has a video. Now let's go back to the report, and we're going to show you a variation that has just an image. This is the one that is actually winning at the moment. No video, and it's literally just an image of the 2x2 grid, the 2x2 grid that we use. This is the one that is winning currently. So we tested a different page with a different image. Let me go grab that one real quick here. So this is the control that did not win. I think I might not be able to load this because it's the basis of the split test.
How sure are you?
So this is the control. Control didn't work all that good. We ended up simplifying the message and just basically having the block on top. This also didn't work all that good. It didn't work nearly as good as this version, which is the simplified layout in the image. And this is the one that is getting better conversions than anything else that we've tested so far. So, and that was after we tested the headline. So you'll notice that all the headlines are the same because we already went through the headline test, and now we're testing the images and the creative in it. So does anybody have any questions? This could get deep really, really, really quickly. So I just really want to, make sure that we handle the process more than anything. The process is really the most important. It's the most important part of this. Whether it doesn't matter if you're using, doesn't matter what software you're using. Whether you are using VWO, whether you're using Optimizely, whether you are using Google Optimize or InspectLit, the process for optimizing a landing page is headline first, then creative. So it's either a video or an image. Then it is button color. So try to do greens and oranges. Then it is subheadline, and then it is features and benefits. So those are like the 5 testing criteria, and you will incrementally improve your conversion as you test each of those things. If your conversion sucks on a page, swap out to a new page, a new style, something that is like kind of formulaically different, so it's not like just the page with like with a different background, something that looks different, is perceived different, loads differently, and then try it all over again. So that's the process for split testing landing pages. If you have any questions at all, go to doneforyou.com/start. Book a call on our calendar. We'd be happy to jump in and put together an action plan for you and talk about your traffic and conversion, all that other stuff. And if you have any questions, just let us know. You can either drop a comment here on the live stream or post to the page or whatever. And I'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks.